best of 5. Okay. You see Overwatch 2? Not only do you have to put in your phone number to play the game, which is like one thing, that's a separate issue.
All I seek to find is a world that's mine. Need a place to hide. Will you free my mind? Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place.
Welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you're joining our coverage for ECAC Rocket League. It is week 2 of the open bracket division. That means non-varsity players and players in club levels across the university will get their chance to prove themselves here tonight. My name is Jacob Palmer, joined by Joe Chigrow to call all of the Rocket League action for you. For this event, Boise State is going to be taking on White Forest, it looks like. And as we're ready, this is a very interesting match that I'm going to be very excited to see, because only a few people get into the varsity level. You know, it is kind of more exclusive, but all these tournaments now have open brackets alongside the varsity brackets. So this kind of gives your opportunity for more players at a club member level, or maybe can't devote the full time to being a varsity student, to play. And I'm looking forward to what kind of talent we're going to see here.
Oh yeah, me too. I've only gotten to see these BSU players, my friends included, play so many times, so I'm really excited to see them play today, and I'm really excited to see the competition that's put in front of them. Like I said, varsity level is pretty restrictive a lot of the time, especially as competition gets a lot better thanks to things like Esports Tower. You know, the esports scene, especially around Rocket League, has developed so much, and I'm just excited to see what these teams look like coming into this ECAC match.
And lots of varsity programs have requirements, like you have to be a full-time student and all of that, and that's no knock against the varsity programs. They need to do that, but a lot of students who go to colleges also go to part-time because they might have a job they got to do on the side. So this opens it up to an incredibly new array of students and talent, and whatever talent they're at, they're still going to want to follow Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, and that's to set play style, understand rotations, play to follow up, and employ those sweaty comms. It's brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. Like I said earlier, this is our match up tonight, and actually we're going to be getting to our lineup for Boise State. We're going to have Tree Goats, Hey, Rico, and Styles playing for us tonight. So as I said, brand new players, brand new talent, and it's good to be showcasing some other players alongside our varsity talent, of course. And the varsity talent's been doing pretty good for themselves in ECAC and CRL, so we'll see if these new players can keep things going for the Broncos. All right, it looks like we're going to be ready to head into our match, and it is going to be a best of 7, so sometimes that level of endurance and trying to stick it in for the long run can really come into play. So even if a team gets off to an explosive start, it might not tell the whole story.
No, definitely not. We've already watched 2 best of 7s for Esports Towers today, and we saw they can go either direction. We had almost a clean sweep and also one that looked pretty done, but it went all the way to a Game 7. So really anything can happen in these best of 7s. They feel long, but they're always exciting down to the very last minute. So,
well, once again, let's take a look at our matchup. This is Boise State versus White Forest in Rocket League. This is Wake Forest, excuse me. This is ECAC Open Division Rocket League, and already it looks like the Broncos are going to get scored on, facing them on the back foot.
Rico pushing the initiative early, only Seeds in the way, does get the touch after almost driving on the wrong side of the wall. He does remain in control of the play. Styles now having to backtrack a little bit as the play moves down the field. The battle at midfield is in progress right now. Goat can kind of grapple for control of the play, but ultimately Tree Goats will find the first goal here in the first minute. Good shot. It's aggro, just barely not quite able to get in front of it, and it will lead to actually in a 0-0 scoreline now, as Wake Forest must have scored in the first 30 seconds that we've missed.
Everything equalized. We've essentially reset. Goes slightly in favor of the Broncos on that kickoff. Risky back pass gets capitalized on by the Broncos. Hey, Rico finds his second. Actually, Tree Goats was the one with the first, but Hey Rico just sees his opening here, sees no one on back post because, hey, it's right off kickoff. I'll just score the goal right now and put the Broncos in a 1-goal lead.
A lead for BSU, only 50 seconds in. Tight game to say the least. Soul kicking it toward the wall. Tree Goats playing around one, Styles up to get the redirect. He does into the far corner, but an answer from Seeds to keep the play alive a little longer. Styles pushing it back into the corner. Rico looking to make a play out of it. Oh, he does see the bump from Styles. Working together to find play in, was slowed greatly by accidentally hitting it against Styles, but there just wasn't a lot of space to hit it anyway. Luckily, the bump was good enough.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I like the way it played out. It just almost came back to bite Boise, but overall it does lead to a 2-goal lead for Boise State, who looks to have stabilized despite an early goal from Wake Forest. And again, off the kickoff, Wake Forest, they're not the only ones to whip. But Hey Rico picks things up for the Broncos, bringing it into a 3-goal lead.
Just an awkward kickoff. Barely got ahead of it. Looks like we might be having some ping issues, probably just result in a server change after this game. Tree Goats wins the kickoff against 2 players, in fact. Seeds trying to take it all the way to the other corner. He makes it there, but Hey Rico will shut him down before he's able to get all the way out. Styles hits towards the backboard, but is unable to do anything really else. Stalls in the side wall, looking for an opportunity to pass to a teammate. Ends up giving it to Tree Goat, who just hits it towards the corner. No shot from Hey Rico. Seeds has a little time to set up a play for a teammate or go for the solo play. Ends up going for the shot, and it will go in off to a poor clear from Boise State. But they're not out of the woods yet, for sure. A 2-goal lead for Boise State, and still plenty of lives left.
Looks like a bit of over-dependence on trying to see if Styles could have saved that. Ultimately, he didn't, so the Broncos are going to be pulled into just a 2-goal lead. It's aggro trying to get a dunk down into the goal, but it's going to die a little bit in front of it. A shot from midfield from Hey Rico opens it up for Tree Goats. It's off the crossbar. All the members of Wake Forest are in front of their own goal, and Boise State rolls up too far and gets punished for it.
Just a little bit of an overcommit, but all 3 players from Wake Forest getting, well, actually only just the 2 of them, they pinched and went all the way in. Wake Forest definitely not out of this yet. They have 3 goals to find an equalizer, 7 goals scored in 2 minutes. Not out of the woods yet.
Styles with the pass over to near corner. Hey Rico is going to drive around that corner to center. Soul is able to get a touch on it. Rico to elevate up. The pass is over to Styles. Tries to push it into the goal, but the shot is not quite there. Hey Rico takes a shot, but it bounces off the ground before it can get into the goal. It's going to head back toward mid. Rico's trying to stop the clear along with Hey Rico. The ball is just deflected over to the other side of the field. Soul trying to take control of it. Hey Rico with the steal away from him. Seeds now up into the corner. Which Bronco is going to take control of. They're actually going to rotate back and kind of slow play this a bit.
Pinch will go all the way into the far corner on Wake Forest side. They have to play a little defense. An opportunity here from Tree Goats, but it will be stopped at the last minute. Seeds trying to bump Styles to find a way out, but ends up passing it to Rico in the activate. Rico takes a shot, barely saved by Wake Forest last man. Tree Goats has to deal with Seeds now, and he does. He keeps control of the play a little longer, but he doesn't probably have another touch, so Soul will take it away, pushing towards the corner. Rico has to reestablish a little offensive pressure, but doesn't get it as he does get beaten out by Seeds. Now Tree Goats has to find a way about past 3 players here. He gets past 1. Has 1 more to beat. A little bit of a coordination issue as Styles and Rico bump into each other, but they will remain in control of the play as they get it towards the far corner.
Styles and Tree Goats trying to decide who's going to take the ball. Looks like Tree Goats tried to get a shot on it, but it was quickly answered back by Wake Forest. Hey Rico, a pass over to Tree Goats. Ball goes cattywampus over to the other side of the field. Boise State even though the angles are a bit wider, still managing to push it over toward Wake Forest territory. Rigo's play off the wall. Around the corner, he gets demoed, but the ball's right in front of the goal. The follow-up is too late from Styles, and Boise State held to just a 1-goal lead.
So much Rock League left to play. A little less than a minute to go. Styles and Rico working to get that out, but now Styles is keen towards the wall. Soul will beat them both. Three Goats gets over 2, only has Seeds ahead of him, but Seed will beat Styles, playing towards the wall, hits it towards the other wall, maybe to follow up back to himself. He has left some space, he gets over 1. Soul is last man, and he is able to save it, however. Soul beats one more. Rico, shot blocked by Seeds. 50-50 from Tree, will push it towards the back wall. An opportunity here for Styles, and will barely push it under and through, finding Boise State their security goal with only 17 seconds left on the clock. This is looking to be in favor of Boise State, but who really knows?
Unfortunate mispositioning by Wake Forest is going to cost them the goal, and now Boise State, as long as they can get control of this kickoff and not let it go into the other team's hands, looks like they're going to have the victory. Trigos just flying past the ball, and Styles with the pass over to Trigos. It was all planned, and Boise State with the side control, and maybe another goal trying to dunk it down. Aren't going to find it, but at this point, it doesn't matter. Boise State is going to start off this best of 7 on the right foot, 5-3. Nice job for the Broncos. It's nice to see even at the club level, we got some great competitive spirit for the Blue. And now this is the point I want to ask you, because you've seen a lot of varsity matches for Boise State. What's kind of most standing out to you as the difference between the varsity level and the open level that we're seeing right now?
I'd say the overall pace of the game compared to our varsity players right now is a little bit slower. That could be a result to a lot of things, really. It could be experience. Our 3 varsity, or our varsity players in general, have spent a long time working together and have been playing the game for a long time. So having more team synergy like that could be a big contributing factor. Without knowing these 3 players, it's hard to say. But the pace of the game definitely seems to be slowed down a little bit as they try to figure things out and work together to make the ball move from one end of the pitch to the other.
Well, we'll have to see if the Broncos are able to score a victory. Again, this is a big opportunity for players that might not traditionally be able to meet the varsity requirements, but still want to compete for their university. And they're doing a great show so far. They've gotten 5 out of 3 goals. I'm also seeing, you kind of see there's definitely communication between the team, a lot of coordination going on in the plays. You're seeing passes that are set up for each other. It's just maybe around the margins a little bit, kind of the accuracy isn't coming through, but that kind of applies to both teams right now. But here we go into the second game. Styles is trying to set up the play. Trigo's waiting for the shot on goal, and Seeds takes it away from him. Over to the center of the field. Soul is going to elevate up, push it to the corner. Styles with the shot back, but it is also slightly centering for the Broncos. Soul is able to stop it in midfield. Hey, Rico gets a chip on that one. Slight double commit from Wake Forest might give the Broncos a little bit of breathing room. Can they find the clear from Soul? He's going to try to drive it, try to duke out Hey Rico. Hey Rico's not going to have any of it, so it has to go over to Seeds. Off near the front post. No goal for the Broncos, and both teams holding each other. No top score.
We can see our UI is a little off right now, but Boise State is right now playing in orange and not blue. That being said, so far we're at a really even scoreline. A lot of battling going on in the midfield. No team having too many scary moments yet. Just trying to work both teams' midfield. Maybe find a chink in the armor and a breakaway goal to go with it. But right now Styles kind of doubling back, understanding he has time. Trigo's pushes it towards the far corner, and a demo on the Trigo will open an opportunity, but Rico still beats out, and they will take it towards the goal. Looks like an opportunity here, a clear out from Seeds. Will push up the right wall. Soul looking for a play of his own, unable to do anything else with it, so Styles can push it towards the wall instead. Looks for a pass out mid with a pinch with Trigo. Does beat pass one. Rico has the opportunity here, but he can't do anything else. He just has to hit it towards the net. That slow roller will fall 2 defenders for Wake Forest.
And remember, that does go over to the Broncos. Unfortunate play by Wake Forest in trying to defend that. It's always kind of a little bit awkward when you're trying to hop up from a stationary position rather than driving forward. Right now, Tree Goats is going to lob a shot on the goal. It goes off the backboard. Quick follow-up by Styles pushes Boise State into a 2-goal lead.
Tree Goats towards the backboard, and Styles already there, already understanding where that bounce is going to come down. Prepares himself, and as soon as the opening is there, he finds the back of the net. Great positioning. Styles will win the 50-50 here, but it will end up going in favor of Seeds without anything he can do with the ball at all. Does take the 50-50 from the ceiling and wins it out. Push towards the far corner. Seeds barely not getting past one. Rico pushing it downfield, pushing the initiative, trying to find an opportunity to score here. Seeds not quite able to beat through the Boise State midfield yet, but ends up Styles leaving it, so Trigo gets to take it up the wall. And together with Rico, they will find a way past the midfield line. We'll have to see for how long.
Elevation up by Styles and Seeds. Neither team is going to get the better of it. Right now, Wake Forest kind of bunching up around the ball, and they're going to get demo pay for it. Boise State with a 2-goal lead. Now we're about halfway through this second match. Styles pushes it over to the other side where there's a lot more space and some boost he can pick up. Tree Goats is going to follow up with Styles. Styles to center. Follow up from Tree Goats. Just going to miss it. But the Broncos adding on to the amount of shots on goal they've placed this game.
Pressure totally in favor of the Broncos right now with their security goal. Tree Goats has to play frontline last man. He doesn't make quality contact, but Rico will make the saving grace play at the last minute. Soul be denied his first goal. Seeds playing it off the wall now. Not willing to give up the offensive pressure yet, but is ultimately blocked. It's aggro, trying to push it a little bit further, but a pinch from Boise State will lead to an opportunity to get past the midfield line. Quickly stopped by Soul. Rico plays it towards the corner. Could be an opportunity here for Wake Forest, but beat out by Tree Goats. It's aggro. Plays towards the wall. Soul looking for a play zone towards Seeds. No contact, however. Styles has a little bit of time. He's going to play it towards the corner, maybe leave it for Rico, but aggro is in the way. Tree Goats is in the way as well. However, it will battle at midfield a little longer, but it ends up being a breakaway goal as too many players for Wake Forest were committed to a 50-50 play here. And the result will be a third consolation goal for Boise State University. And again, our UI is off. Boise State is playing under orange right now, so Boise State has 3 and Wake Forest is down by 3. Definitely not out of it yet, though.
Still the realm of possibility to get 3 goals in 1 minute. But hey, 4 goals would be even better for the Broncos. Quick shot on goal is going to be denied by Soul, but Broncos maintain side control with a quick dunk down. It's going to bounce off the crossbar. Follow-up, not quick enough, and Wake Forest is able to push it out of their goal. Not too far. They still need to clear past midfield. Hey, Rico is not going to be able to win that 50 against them. Tree Goats sets it up in front of the goal. Style shot on goal, saved by Soul. But more than saved, Wake Forest is running out of time. They need a goal right here, right now. Can they beat that 50? Hey, Rico, they cannot. And they're going to be forced to defend yet again.
See, it's towards the wall. Styles gets it up past 1. No follow-up yet from Boise State. Rico is there if they miss, but does hit it towards the sidewall. No defender was not out for that play. Styles trying to set up another opportunity here. Hits it towards the wall. Aggro gets in the way. Rico and Goats colliding. A little bit of coordination issue, but does pass out to Styles, and the connection is not there. Not quite able to find back net on the passing play. Now Rico looks to get past 1. Gets past 1, leaves it for his teammate, but it ends up getting popped out. It's likely this ball goes down, and regardless of the result of this next exchange, of Boise State walking away with game 2. Only 2 games away from their victory in this best of 7.
And if we were to probably take a look at the stats for that game, that would probably have been way in favor of the Broncos. I think Wake Forest was only able to get 2 shots on goal for that entire game. A huge differential from the Broncos.
Yeah, they definitely felt like they were more in their stride, a little bit more coordination in that second game for sure. Maybe only a couple big issues, but overall, I think what it just comes down to is execution is what that team is missing right now. If you're looking at Wake Forest, I think a lot of the time what you just got to look at is make sure you're cutting down these plays before they're allowed to happen a lot of the time. Make sure that we're hitting the ball every time it hits the backboard, not giving them the opportunity to get these reads.
Well, Boise State is looking to be on a huge roll of momentum. They are going to be going into Game 3. Should they win this game, it will go to match point, and they will have the chance to close this out in a sweep. But let's not count Wake Forest out quite yet. They have shown some promise, some ability to play together. Will they be able to crack the Broncos defense? Let's find out right now. The Broncos already starting things off with a bang, scoring in the first 10 seconds.
Well, that is actually Wake Forest scoring.
Right. I'm sorry. We are still swapped over. We still have that graphical bug.
Yeah, it confused me a little bit too. But it's good to see that Wake Forest has found at least something that can help them find the back of the net. That seems like, so this game and game 1, they got ahead early. They're definitely capable of finding chinks in the armor. We'll have to see if Boise State can adapt to that. Trigos and Styles are up for that, but no good on the play regardless. Rico ends up leaving the ball and gets demoed by Seeds in exchange for a 100 boost. Styles pushing downfield, leaves it for one. Soul towards the backboard. Not quite able to do anything with it yet. Styles waiting, buying his time. He knows he can beat one. He beats the one, has to beat 2 more. He beats the second one, but Seeds is just far too much for him to do all on his own. The pass from Rico to Styles down almost creates an interesting play. Styles has to be the third man. He gets a demo, but it's not safe yet. They can take the shot. The block of the midfield will save him for a moment. Trigo plays it towards the corner. Rico has to follow up, finds a demo. Could be an opportunity to get it mid here. Styles has the shot. He takes the shot, and there's no defender in the way of that play. Boise State will equalize at 3 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock.
Much in the same way the first game played out, despite an early kickoff, Boise State has managed to find the ground under their feet. Are now going to go to a tied game. Reset at about the same time, too. We still have 4 minutes left, so it could go either way. It's Agro trying to lob a shot onto the Broncos. Styles misses in that save, and Seeds beats him to it. Can Wake Forest now open up a lead? They're going to bump right into Styles, and that's going to deflect the ball way back over past mid. It's Agro is there to pick up the pieces. He's going to try to play, actually flips away. Trigos setting it up off the back crossbar and not finding it.
Seeds trying to make a play happen. Styles shut it down in the midfield, but only for its aggro to pinch it out mid. Seeds gets the redirect, but ends up just spilling out to Rico, who takes the long clear downfield, maybe a touch of his own, does not quite get it. Rico looks for the pass out mid, over to Styles, who just hits it back. It's backboard. They need to follow up, but they don't get it. Seeds pushes it downfield. Could be a breakaway opportunity. Takes the shot. It's no good. It's just a little bit off. It hits the sidebar, and they will be denied an easy open net, but they'll have more opportunities. Styles looking to get past the midfield line. Can't do anything with the ball, however. Leads it for Seeds, who puts it on the backboard. Nobody up for Wake Forest means BSU has all the time they need to get it out. Trigo, pass 1, pass 2. Seeds will be in the way, however, they will not be able to make anything of it. Styles towards the back wall, gets past 1, a good pass down, the waterfall down, and hey, Rico will be there, finding them their second goal and the lead in game number 3.
Again, it seems Wake Forest is just having some problems with that positioning. Both the members chasing the ball in the front post territory instead of having one person on back post. It's just those standard rotations they need to tidy up. We'll see if they can do it. Hey, Rico moves up the field. He's going to dribble it in the air, let it down. Poor teammate or just played himself. He is unable to get the goal. The Broncos are still left searching. Now Seeds is going to try to take this. Styles is going to take it away from him. So now it's up to Soul. Soul can still keep that play going, but the angle in mid-air doesn't quite work out for him. Now, hey, Rico. Passing to Styles. Back to Trigos. All 3 members are playing in this goal. They want it, and they're going to get it.
It was out. It was safe. We're not going to... Oh, yeah, I don't think this ball was in. It's off. Seeds actually scores it for them in a panic. That's an unfortunate situation. Happens to the best of us, however, but Wake Forest only increased the work that they have cut out for them. Now giving Boise State security goals, not what you're looking for if you're trying to avoid the sweep. Trigo pass over to Hey Rico, and you'll find the back of the net with no response from Wake Forest defense. He sees the backlift, gives Trigo the opportunity, and a bump onto the defender. Soul is just not ready to step up to be that next defender after the bump.
1 minute 53 seconds left. Wake Forest gets the slight better of that kickoff, but the follow-up often turns things around, and that's going to be the case for Boise State. Seeds is going to get a nice shot, going to play off the wall and try to pitch it into the goal. Not going to find it. That's the closest Wake Forest has come, though, since their opening salvo against the Broncos. It's Agro's going to try to defend against this. Plays too low. That leaves Hey Rico to try to center it. Now Soul gets a touch on it. Styles tries to pinch it off, but it's just going to slam right into the wall, and the ball's going to lose all momentum. Now back in midfield, Tree Goats tries to pass it. It's over to Styles. He's going to play it off the wall, but he has no follow-up.
Tap down. A little bit of time for Soul. Hits it towards the wall, but he ends up just hitting it right to Tree Goats. Doesn't do anything productive with the ball at all. Tree Goats looking for the pass, but is not quite able to do it. Hey Rico, keeping it close. Looks for a play back himself. Doesn't make quality contact, though, so can't really do a lot. Styles taps it into the corner. Looks for the pass. Almost a scoring opportunity for Boise State's hanging in front of that. They still good. Styles looks for a double tap, and it's good. Wow! Took a minute to find its mark, but he did end up finding the angle. Very close shot, to say the least. Seeds caught off guard by the angle taken. Very good shot. Will put Boise State into a very comfortable position going into these last 40 seconds. An adjustment needs to be made from Wake Forest. What do you think that adjustment is?
Well, I mean, just look at the activity feed, you know, for Wake Forest. They only really have Seeds making the plays. It's Agro and Soul has really kind of struggled. So maybe just a bit more spacing out for them could be what they need. But we'll have to see what happens as Style is going to set it up for Hey Rico, and they're just going to miss. Seeds credited with the save. Boise State not letting up for one moment. It's Agro trying to clear, but isn't finding it. He's out of boost. He can't make the play. So Boise State is going to be leading to another victory. Tree Goats, maybe just one more to show off. Whips on that one. Hey Rico follow-up. And it gets grounded, pinched off to the side, and that should do it for this round, unless Wake Forest can score just kind of a little bit of a morale boost goal. It's not going to happen, though. Boise State moves on to match point.
Very well fought game. It was definitely a lot closer in the beginning, but it kind of just fell apart right at the end for Wake Forest. Defense just not quite working out for them. I can't really tell if it's a coordination issue or it's a speed issue, but overall it just feels like they're not quite getting the plays that they need, maybe not working as well together to make sure that ball gets past the midfield line.
Yeah, it seems like there are too many circumstances where two of their members are either bunched up in the same position, taking the same path to try to chase after the ball instead of having one person like proactively rotate around so that if worse comes to worse, they can at least have someone on the back post. It seems they're getting into a little bit too of that mentality of just playing bunch ball and just trying to chase the ball wherever it goes. But Wake Forest has shown that they can get a few goals against the Broncos, so we'll see if the Broncos can close it out and get a 4-0 victory against Wake Forest, or if we will have a fight back, a reverse sweep in the making. Let's see how it works out. Looks like we do still have Wake Forest in the blue, Boise State in the orange.
Soul's pushing towards the wall, able to get past one. Tree Goats gets the clear, however. All three players for BSU involved in that. Pass to the midfield. Tree Goats looking for the bump, doesn't get it, so Soul gets control play. Only has to outplay one, but he does flick it into the corner. Styles getting the full clear out. Rico pushing it past to get past everyone else. Rico with the musty Wake Forest defender. Thought he had more time than he did, and he went all the way back for the corner boost. Seeds just not quite seeing the play the way that Boise State Rico did.
Now Boise State finds themselves in a very comfortable position moving forward. Slide tap by Styles. Tree Goats is going to elevate up, play off the left center. Heads back towards Soul. Styles is laying there in wait. Now Hey Rico is going to try to play it above basically all the members of Wake Forest. Seeds get a tap on it. Now Tree Goats. Tree Goats is setting it up for Ryan Styles as he pushes it up the field, off of the wall. Here we go, trying to get the goal, playing it off the backboard. Styles with the touch, and Boise State trying to find their second goal, but doesn't quite get it unless Styles with the play there off of the crossbar. Broncos are just playing all around Wake Forest, and it finally pays off for them.
You can see over and over, it just kind of feels like every time Boise State launches the ball towards the net, even if it doesn't go in, There's just no Wake Forest defender able to knock it out into a corner. When it bounces off the backboard or bounces off the sidewall, it puts itself in a position where it could be scored. You have to be trampling on top of that super early. Boise State will jump on top of those opportunities to take the shot, whether they miss or find the back of the net. You have to find a way to knock it down before they get the opportunity.
Back to midfield. Rico is going to actually let his partner pick up the boost. Just contest the ball himself. Tree Goats puts it up in the air. It's a double tap over for Styles. Off the backboard. No one for the follow-up. But Sol misses on the clear, so the side control still keeping in touch for the Broncos. Styles is setting it up, but the ball's a bit too high right now. Seed pushes it over to the other side of the field. Wake Forest really struggling for a goal, a clear right now. But they just got to find one. This could be it from Seeds, but Rico is lying in right and plays it right over Seeds, right back toward the goal, setting it up for Tree Goats. They don't find their goal, but Broncos are playing like a machine.
Sol pushing it towards the sidewall. Tree Goats in the way. Hits it mid to Rico. Doesn't make quality contact. Will stay in the corner. Styles looking for a solo play. Gets past one. Taking it towards the backboard, but Seeds will find a way to knock it out. Styles playing it from the far corner now. Sol able to win the 50-50 out. And Rico will hang on the ceiling to make the play happen regardless. Past one. Seeds getting the clear out. Over Styles. Seeds barely not able to make contact, however. Gives Rigo plenty of time to remain in control of the play. Pass Sol. Maybe looking for a pass over. He does find Rico, but it's cut off quickly by Seeds. Now Styles is up. Hits it towards the back wall. Oh, Rico actually collides with him, and the play will defuse entirely. Rigo has to reset and look for an opportunity to just buy time. Rico loses the 50-50 out towards his own net, but luckily Trigo and Styles have rotated back in order to respond to that kind of situation. And now the battle in midfield will begin.
A battle that was started off with a demo onto Rico. Styles still trying to tie it up. We're seeing a very big problem here also for Wake Forest is that they do not have a lot of boost to play with. Boise State's been doing a great job at starving it from them. CC Styles go into the corner here, playing it above Wake Forest. Seeds with a push back over to Boise State. Now just a bit of chasing in midfield, and Tree Goats with a flick gets the third goal for the Broncos.
Right now, things are looking awfully dire for Wake Forest, but they have plenty of time to stage a comeback in the whole series, but they just have to make a change. They can't keep allowing Boise State to play their own game like they have been. Tree Goats winning the 50-50 out to Sol, who will take control of the first play, hitting it towards the back of the net, but does not find a low enough angle to find their first goal in this game. Tree Goats.
Oh, that's a nice redirect. It heads back over towards Seeds. Wake Forest still trying to clear it out, but the Broncos putting on the pressure. A lob up in the air, leaves it for Rico. The shot is just a bit wide, but the Broncos still maintaining side control. Going to out more shots on goal to Wake Forest. They're already past 10, make that 11, and another goal.
Tree Goats. Good pressure to force them to set it up for Rico, and Rico taking the shot from the difficult high and off angle will extend the lead to 4-0 with 44 seconds left on the clock. It feels pretty doomed at this point for Wake Forest.
Yeah, at this point it would have to be 10 seconds a goal. Maybe Wake Forest can get one goal, or a final nail in the coffin can be driven through their hopes and dreams by the Broncos if a fifth goal is scored. But the timer will probably do that on its own. Only 30 seconds remaining. Looking pretty hopeless, as you saw Boise State showing. They are going to go on to this game with a 4-0 sweep. What a statement from the Open Division to say, hey, there's still plenty of talent for us to show off as well. Just 10 seconds left before we wrap this all up, and Boise State will have the win in the second round of the ECAC Open Rocket League Tournament. Ball hits the ground. Trigos keeps it in the air, though, just to see what happens. Seed's going to push it back toward Broncos' goal. Rico gets a touch and also passes it over to Styles. And they're going to finally let the ball hit the ground after they've had their fun. And Boise State winning that in a stunning fashion, 4-0 against Wake Forest. Well, overall, a great night for the Broncos as far as the Open Division is concerned. Before we close things up here, though, Tacky, do you have any final thoughts on what really decided it for the Broncos?
I think this, well, I'm about to say, kind of applies to all the Rocket League we've seen today. But I think the big thing that ended up making the difference for every team that had victory today ended up being coordination above all else. I think that mattered the most.
Well, if you want to be a part of that coordination, Boise State Esports is always looking for talented new players in all of our varsity games as well as broadcast and production. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility can get you into the program as well. So to find out more, go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Well, that's all that we have for this match. I got to agree with you, Tacky. I think I mainly saw, especially in the final two games, there were moments where Wake Forest where all three of their players were kind of in the same quadrant. And then once you're all just kind of bunched up like that, if the other team just gets a really good shot above all three of you, then the goal's wide open. And Boise State found a lot of scenarios like that. But that's going to do it for us tonight. We want to thank you for watching, and congratulations to the Broncos for winning. We'll close it out here for tonight for ECAC Open Rocket League. You all have a good one.